Before he was Nasty Nestor, and he took the world by storm with his funky deliveries and charismatic personality, it quite literally took the lottery for Nestor Cortes to be where he is now. I'm Ryan Gregware with Michael Calamari, and this is the story of Nestor Cortes.
To say the career of Nestor Cortes has been an unlikely one is a major understatement. A native of Cerrado de Batabano, Cortes made his way to Miami when he was just 7 months old after his father struck gold winning the Visa Diversity Lottery. The odds of winning this lottery? Less than 1%. So, it was really a stroke of luck that landed Cortes in the States. Nestor, who stands at 5'11" and 205 pounds, would stay in Florida throughout his high school years, as he attended Hialeah Senior High School, home of two-time All-Star Gio Gonzalez. Gonzalez's father was an assistant coach on the team, and he was frequently visited and built a relationship with Cortes. Cortes, although actively playing on the team, would not start pitching until his junior year, and it was here where Cortes first started to understand what it would take for him to fulfill his potential.
I tried to do what Gio was doing in the big leagues in high school. You know, to that one time we had that conversation, and I told him, man, I wish I could be like you one day. And he's like, don't try and be like me. Don't try and be Gio Gonzalez. Try and be Nestor Cortes.
And for the rest of his career, that's exactly what he would do.
The Yankees saw something in Cortes, enough to make him their 36th round draft pick in 2012. Cortes, who had already committed to FIU, decided it was time for his dream, and that was professional baseball. When Cortes was in his rookie ball, he worked with perhaps the biggest influence on his pitching style, Orlando Hernandez, also known as El Duque. El Duque was a fellow Cuban who didn't throw particularly hard either. However, he was able to reinvent his game and extend his career due to his funky off-script deliveries, something that Cortes is synonymous with today. He shut down his trick pitches in his minor league career as he battled the ups and downs that a typical player trying to break into the bigs went through. But in 2017, it appeared he put it all together as he went 7-4 with a 2.06 ERA in AAA. Unfortunately for Cortes, this was not enough as he was left unprotected in the 2017 Rule 5 draft, where the cross-division rival Orioles picked him up.
That spring, he finally got his shot with Baltimore as he cracked the opening day roster. However, just 4 2/3 innings later and 2 grand slams given up, Nestor's time in Baltimore came to an end as he was designated for assignment and returned to the Yankees. Cortes would later have to wait until the following season to get his first chance with New York. Brought in as primarily a garbage time pitcher, Nestor's job was to eat up outs in games that were already out of reach. Cortes did just that, but an ERA approaching the 6s in 33 games was not enough for him to stick around as the Yankees sent him down in late June. By season's end, Nestor was an afterthought for the Yankees, and it looked like his Bronx tenure would permanently come to an end. He was traded in November of 2019 for international bonus pool money to the Seattle Mariners. Seattle gave him another shot, but Cortes did not respond well. In just 7 2/3 innings pitched, he gave up 13 runs with 6 homers. And before it could get any worse, an elbow injury ended his season early and prevented his ERA from further skyrocketing. Seattle had seen enough. They cut bait following season's end and outrighted him off the 40-man roster. Cortes was running out of chances, and he went to the place he was most familiar with, back to the New York Yankees.
The 2021 season for Cortes would be his surge to prominence, but before he got there, he had to earn his spot. The lefty would start the season as a long relief arm for New York. Cortes' first 7 appearances would come out of the bullpen, 5 of which spanned 2 or more innings. During this stretch, Cortes was dynamite. In his 17 2/3 innings pitched over that span, Nestor allowed just 2 earned runs. His strong performance would earn him his first start of the season in the Subway Series July 4th match against the Mets, a game the Yankees desperately needed. After dropping the first game of a doubleheader, the Yankees fell to 41-41 on the season and were on the verge of being swept and falling to under 500 past the midpoint of the season. They turned to Nestor to be the stopper, and he did just that and so much more. He gave up just 1 run over 3 1/3 innings, helping propel the Yankees to a win that carried momentum throughout the rest of the season. Nestor became a steady cog in the starting rotation after that, starting 13 of the next 14 appearances. Over that stretch, Cortes provided some much-needed depth for the Bombers, throwing 5 or more innings in 9 consecutive starts from July 28th to September 15th. By the end of the year, Nestor cemented himself as a critical member of the Yankee staff, finishing the season with a 2.90 ERA. Going into the year, Cortes knew he was running out of chances. He needed to get outs in any way, shape, or form. We'd seen flashes here and there, but in 2021, he made the full commitment to bring back his unique mix-up of his delivery. It wasn't every pitch or every batter, but we saw it over the course of the year, and a few times every game, Nestor would break it out, and it was a joy to watch for all of baseball. Much of the success of Cortes was thanks to the changes in his pitch arsenal. After the 2020 season, Cortes got rid of his breaking ball, a pitch he used 29% of the time as a rookie. The tinkering didn't stop there, as Nestor made another change with his slider. The slider had been one of his most used pitches, using it 50% of the time in his dreadful 2020. In 21, Cortes cut that number nearly in half, replacing it with a re-grip slider that would become his cutter. His cutter would become his second most used pitch and the essential part of his newfound success.
Rearranged my slider, we re-gripped my slider, and it was a huge pitch for me this year. And I was able to throw strikes, I was able to get lefties and righties out. And my fastball went up 2 or 3 ticks on the velo, so that helped also. And it all started in spring training with the guys that I was working with, and like I said, I took it and I ran with it.
And ran with it he did, as the 2022 season picked off right where he left things off in 2021, dominating in his first 2 starts, pitching a total of 9 1/3 innings without allowing a run. What might be the highlight of his season thus far came in his second start against Baltimore, which was nothing short of a masterpiece, striking out 12 over 5 innings, including 11 of his first 12 batters with an immaculate inning in the 4th. Most recently, in his 3rd start versus the Guardians, Cortes was nearly brilliant, pitching 6 1/3 innings and allowing 1 hit, 2 walks, and 2 earned runs with the flash of the glove.
I told myself if I'm able to stay healthy the whole year, I think I can do big things. Like I said, I go 1 inning at a time, try to give as many quality innings as I can. It's fun to go 6 and 7 innings into every game that I pitch, but if I can give 4 or 5 innings, with our bullpen and our hitting, I think it always gives us a shot.
This season, Cortes has had a career low in opponent barrel percentage, exit velocity, and has a career high in K percentage, which ranks in the top 1% among the major leagues.
It's a full circle moment for Cortes, who has had more ups and downs than most players could even imagine. But he's here now, and that's all that matters. And fortunately for the Yankees, it looks like he's here to stay. With Cortes still in his early chapters of his major league career and pitching the top of his game, his story is unfinished. The up and down struggles of Cortes seem to be in the past, as he has come all the way from that faithful lottery to be where he is now, and that is lights out.